In the last lecture, you learned how to install Google Analytics, and that's the first big step to really collecting actionable insights that can grow your business. Now, in this lecture, what I want to cover is to make sure that you've enabled these 3 reports inside Google Analytics. These 3 reports allow you to collect a lot more information about visitors to your site and how your site is performing. They're not set by default, so you really need to manually turn these on or link these in. So I'm going to show you how to do them. The first one is the demographics and interest reports. Now, we enable this at the start of the course in the WordPress section again, but just to give you a reminder or guidance on how to set it up, let me show you how. So inside Google Analytics, you want to come in to your property that you've just set up, and then you want to come into property settings once again. Then once this opens up, you want to scroll down under where you've put in your property name and URL and just click this button on and really just change this to being on. Now, the important thing about these demographic and interest reports is that they collect information about the age, gender, and interests on your website. And let me show you exactly where these are and how valuable these reports are. So in reporting here, once you have been set this up and enabled those reports and let it run for a while, you're going to see the demographic and interest reports here. And for example, if we look at the overview of the demographic reports, you can see the age, the gender, really where people are located and all of their interests as well. What are some of the topics that they're really interested in? So this is invaluable information for really building out your buyer persona. So very important to you, check that one little button here in property settings if you want to get all of that information. The thing you should really remember is you can't get this information back unless you've ticked this button. So do that as soon as possible. Maybe even pause the lecture and do it right now. So that is the demographic and interest reports. That is enabled, and you can see I'm already 13% now through the checklist. Now, the next report that you want to enable is really integration with your Search Console. Now, we covered the Search Console. We set it up back in the SEO section of the course. It was, here we go, point number 3 on our technical SEO checklist. And just as a reminder, this free tool allows you to check the search engine's view of your website with reports about indexing status, search queries, crawl errors, and penalties. So just as a reminder, this is what it is. You can see here the number of pages that have been indexed for my website in the search engines is 14. So as a standalone tool, it is very useful, but also if you integrate it with Google Analytics and link these accounts up, you can get some great information. And let me show you where this is now as well. If you come into reporting, you come down into acquisition, you can see here Search Console, and you can see especially the queries here. This is probably the most interesting part. Really the search queries that people are typing in order to find my website. And there's all sorts of information about the volume of those keywords and my position for those keywords as well. So extremely important to get that set up so you can benefit from all of that information. And the way that you can do that is just come into admin once again. You can come into property settings, and it is down the bottom here, adjust Search Console. You just need to click on that, and then you will really just type in your website there and enable that and click save. So I've got that done. I really suggest you go ahead and do that straight away as well, because once again, you can't look at historical data. You can only look at the data from the moment that you've enabled that. Now, the final account that you can link into your Google Analytics is your AdWords account. Now, this is important, especially if you're going to advertise. We did this in the Google AdWords section of the course, but just as a reminder of really how to do this, you can come into AdWords linking here, add a new link group, and you just really add in your AdWords account. It'll really be connected by your Google profile, your Gmail that you've been using to set up all these accounts. So those are the 3 reports that you should really enable, and they will give you a whole lot of more information into your Google Analytics account. They'll also help organize your information a lot more, especially if you are advertising on AdWords, because you won't need to track the success of your campaign. If you have your AdWords account linked in, then you'll really be able to see all the information about what visitors do on your website after they click on the ad. And that is extremely important to know, to see if those clicks that you're paying for are actually resulting in a sale or a sign up or whatever your goals may be. And that's really what we're going to look at in the next lecture now, how to set up your goals to measure success in Google Analytics. This is a vital step to do. After installing Google Analytics, this is the second most important step. So I'll see you in the next lecture to show you how to set up your goal tracking in Google Analytics.